All right, we are live. Good morning, everyone, or wherever you're at. Good afternoon, good evening. It is good to see you once again for the monthly meeting of the minds. I'm not really sure. It depends who you ask. Between the enemy from within, and as always, our good friend, Guard the Leaf. What's up, buddy?
Not much. How you doing, Josh?
I am doing absolutely fantastic. They finally let me out of the truck for a weekend, and by they I mean me. And I'm sitting around the house, and I'm not too used to that. So feel a little awkward sitting here doing live streams, and there's no rumble of the diesel engine behind me. But I'll get through this. I promise you.
Well, it's good to be able to chat with you again. I think we definitely got to try to see if we can keep up this once a month thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been for everyone that I think we got a lot of overlap, and a lot of people kind of wait for these live streams, but we've been trying to hit one every month when I make it home and doing a joint stream across both channels, which is a lot of fun. Guard the Leaf. It gets fucking busy over here when we combine both channels, but always a lot of fun. But it's just good to see you, man. I'm a little bit out of it today, just kind of adjusting to everything, but really good to see you to do this stream.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to be here. And I think one of the cool things that we have in common right now is that the Discord server, and everybody that's in the Discord server. I'm really starting to get to know some of my community members and people who view my channel. So, it was okay to kind of communicate with YouTube comments, but those get buried, right? So now with Discord, I'm able to have like conversations and DMs with people that watch my videos. So it's pretty cool. So thanks for inviting me into the server and also my community.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for everyone that don't know that too, we got the Discord, which is just growing rapidly. We were just talking about that before we went live. Over 1,100 members in there right now, and quite a lively community. Guard the Leaf much more active in it than I am. I get a little busy with work, but honestly, when I go in there and see all the conversation, I get a little bit overwhelmed. I'm like, I don't even know where to jump in with everything going on over here.
Well, I have to admit it's becoming a bit of a distraction for me at work. So I usually have to turn off Discord when I'm at work, and I'll just catch up on the chats when I get home. So, but no, it's been great, and I'm really starting to know a lot of the community members now. So it's really nice.
Yeah, it is pretty cool, man. It's awesome in there. I see you quite a bit, and they're pretty active with a lot of people. I try, but by the time I park the truck at the end of the day, I'm just ready to go to bed. I've just had enough.
No, I totally understand. I mean, you're driving around all day. I wouldn't. It's something that I think once you're done, you just want to decompress and relax, right? So.
Yeah, and good thing it's not a distraction for me when I'm at work, because that could have catastrophic results.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a little bit easier for me because I'm sitting at a desk all day. But yeah, I noticed now I just got to turn off my Discord and sign out so I don't go back in. So.
Yeah, but I mean, office accidents do happen. You don't want to crash that rolling chair into someone, carrying coffee or something.
Yeah, or walking, look at my phone, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. You run into someone, and that's no good. So yeah, I mean, the risk is there for both of us, 100%. But no, the Discord's super cool. I love it in there. We're a group of people that are still kind of learning the ropes when it comes to Discord. So be nice to us. We might fuck up. We might make some mistakes. And the moderators are just people also, and very passionate people about what we're involved in over here too. So sometimes they even get a little bit fired up over there too, because moderators are not, they're people too.
Yeah. Well, so far I think we got a great community in there, and there's a lot of constructive chatter. So that's one thing. It's not, what I'm noticing is it's not a lot of trolls and a lot, people hating each other and whatever else. It's actually a lot of people with constructive conversations. So, that's really what I like about it. So.
Yeah, it is a good place. And yeah, I wouldn't want to be a troll wandering into our Discord right now. You would get fucking eaten alive coming in there saying some stupid shit. So yeah, it's definitely kicking the hornet's nest over there if you want to troll in our Discord. It doesn't sound like a fun day.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess our first thing I want to talk about, I mean, I know you live in Colorado. I mean, are you a hockey fan?
Only kinda. I remember years ago. You can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think it was late '90s. The Quebec Nordiques moved to Colorado to become the Avalanche. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
And think we won the we won. I participated. I sat on the couch and cheered for them. I think we won the Stanley Cup though in our first year here.
Yeah, I think it was actually with Joe
Yeah.
Sakic, and that's a long time ago. I can't remember the exact entire team, but yeah, I mean, I think once they moved to Colorado, you guys was it was it the same year or the year after that you won the cup? I can't remember.
I feel like it was the same year. It was super exciting for the people in Colorado, that we just got that team and immediately won. So I'm pretty sure it was first year. But that's the extent of my hockey knowledge. I see Joe Canada is already here. I'm going to highlight it because Joe's sick of my shit already. He's like, where is it? Damn, the comments are moving so fast. Joe says, think we won. Heavy sigh.
Yeah. The reason I brought up hockey is, I mean, what's your thoughts on Team USA and their actions after they won?
I don't know too much about it. I know, fill me in on what I might be missing. I know some things, but I want to make sure I'm addressing the right thing.
Okay, so basically, I mean, Team USA won, and fair and square, and I already knew during the 3-on-3, and it just probably wasn't going to be a good result. But long story short, I mean, Team USA won, and the handshakes and stuff happened, and then right after that, they brought in Kash Patel into the locker room. And, Kash Patel was, cheering like he was actually on the team and whatever else. And he also brought on the Orange McNugget onto a phone call. And basically, I think what happened was the Orange guy actually said, made an insult to the women's team, saying that he's going to have to invite the women's team. And, the entire team laughed, right? So I think that caused a lot of stir up. And then, the women's team decided that they didn't want to go to the White House, so they declined. And basically, it just gave a really bad image to the United States, right? So, it's I did a video on it, and I think when in my video when Canada won the 2010 Olympics, and obviously, it's a great thing for Canada, and the United States lost. The difference there is that when the United States lost, I went to the next Canucks game where one of our players was on Team USA, and Canadians congratulated him, right? So somebody in my comments, either the comments or in the Discord somewhere, someone said it very well. They said, when Canada won in 2010, we celebrated our win, but when Team USA won in 2026, they celebrated our loss. So it kind of, everyone kind of posted up in different videos. Other creators are saying, Team USA, they're sore winners. You don't often see that, right? But it's just one of those things where it's like, it kind of showed, some of the true colors of, the Team USA players. So,
yeah. So first of all, I am a huge supporter of guys having a good time and celebrating and spraying beer all over the place. Not necessarily a huge supporter of it when it's like the director of the FBI that's supposed to be doing something about the fucking Epstein files. There's a time and a place, so I fully support people having a good time, but what the hell are you doing, Kash Patel? The joke from Donald Trump about having to invite the women's team, I'm not shocked. I mean, the guy hates women. That's just kind of what he does. That doesn't surprise me at all. There was the AI video because Donald Trump takes credit for everything that he never does, but the AI video of Donald Trump playing hockey against the Canadian team and out there beating the shit out of them and scoring goals and all kinds of shit, and he took a victory lap on that, and that was probably disrespectful as hell, but goofy as shit. I sometimes I'm just at a loss with these fucking guys. that part probably would have pissed me off, say, if I was Canadian. Like, here's Donald Trump that has, threatened to turn us into the 51st state, who has tried to harm our economy through tariffs, which backfired massively, by the way. And now I'm out here just beating the shit out of Canada's hockey team because I can. It was just kind of rubbing it in your face at that point, is how I felt about that. So.
Yeah, I mean, it was just not a sportsman-like thing to do. I mean, not just to us, right, but to the women's hockey team as well, right? So
yeah,
it's the whole thing. Like when I saw that video with Cash Patel there, and I was like, why did they, why did Team USA even invite him in, right? And first of all, why was he there? And if I was a U.S. citizen, I would be pissed because he took the FBI jet to fly over to Italy to watch the game. Now, obviously he says, "Oh, I was there for meetings," but I'm pretty sure nobody believes that, right? So,
right? No, I haven't seen Cash Patel do anything, anything besides party. Like, he's using the jet to fly his girlfriend around the country. Like, no, I don't buy that at all.
Yeah. So it's just unfortunate. I mean, it's because what's happening right now, I guess, is some of the Canadian teams that have U.S. players on them. Like what's his name? Austin Matthews is actually the captain for Toronto Maple Leafs, and Brady Tkachuk is I think he's the captain for Ottawa. Everything that their actions, and they're coming back to a Canadian team, right? So you gotta think before you say this kind of stuff, and your actions and things, they're going to live on, right? Because I mean, I have a lot of people in my comments and people even emailing me saying that, I'm a lifelong Toronto Maple Leafs fans, but ever since this Olympic stunt, they have no more respect for their captain, right? So it's one of those things where some people, they'll say, "Oh, don't drag politics into sports," but I believe these players, they got themselves into the politics by participating, and not just participating, but acting all giddy when the Orange McNugget got on the phone with them, right? So.
Right. No, I agree with that. Sometimes it's hard for me to decide, is this something that I just like blow off and be like, Donald Trump's being a fucking idiot again, or do I actually get outraged about this thing? And sometimes I'm not sure which way to feel about the things. Like, do I just ignore him, or do I talk about what a piece of shit he is? But you're 100% right. The minute they brought Cash Patel into the locker room with them, they were participating in politics at that point. Taking the invite from Donald Trump right now from any team is just a fucking dumb move. Just a really, really dumb decision. He's clearly a fascist. And you're going to go down in history as the person that was, shaking hands with that guy and hanging out with that guy. Everybody should, with any morals, be declining that invitation. 100%.
Yep. No, I agree. There's a comment here I just said, but it's from Mitchon, 6144. But he says 5 players didn't show up. So yeah, five players decided that they didn't want to participate in the meeting with Donald Trump at the White House. So for those 5 players, I do respect them for not standing the ground and doing what was right. So unfortunately, the other 20 players, it was like they met their idol, right? So.
Oh god, I fucking hate that so much too, when you see these actual athletes that are just staring at Donald Trump with love in their eyes, and oh my god, I can't believe I'm actually meeting him. Shut up, that dude ain't fucking half the man you are. What are you doing right now? Come on. It's just downright pathetic sometimes. So what I'm trying to say, and I know I'm saying it the wrong way, is I understand a lot of the Canadian I don't know if outrage is too strong of a word. And I sort of have trouble going, is this another thing we just ignore, or do we get mad about this? I don't know what the right answer is. Like the same thing with the fucking bridge, when he, President Bridge Troll wanted to, stop the opening of this bridge. It's like, yeah, that's like pretty fucked up, but at the same time, like, he's just a fucking goofball too, So,
well, I mean, from a Canadian point of view, every time this shit happens, it doesn't anger me. It just, I just got to sit there and shake my head, right? And I think it just adds a little bit more fuel to my boycott. And it just reveals a little bit more, right? Because I mean, if I use the incident with the Team USA, it just revealed who on Team USA to me is, an orange guy supporter, and who I don't support in the future, right? So
Right.
it's just layer after layer after layer of things that are being uncovered. That's what
Mhm.
I'm feeling right now when all of these incidents are happening, right? And especially with the bridge. I mean, I didn't know anything about this Gordie Howe Bridge. I knew it was opening, but I also didn't know that a U.S. billionaire owned the Ambassador Bridge. And once all this information came out, that the billionaire, talked to who was it, Howard Lutnick, just before, and tried. I guess there was a $1 million donation, and all of a sudden, the orange guy comes out of nowhere and says, "I'm stopping the opening." Right. So it
Right.
just kind of uncovers the layer of corruption that's happening with the government. And I can't. I don't hate it. I'm just really disappointed, and I just kind of sit here and shake my head. But I top up my boycott movement, right? So
Right, right.
yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I agree. I don't really have much more to add to that particular topic. I try not to tell people how they should feel about things like, hey, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel, you know.
yeah,
I just sometimes I just have trouble going, is this the thing to be pissed about? Or is this the time to roll my eyes and call him a fucking dork and move on with my life, you know? And sometimes I struggle to know which one's the right response to those things.
yeah. I mean, I try to maintain a level head on it, and I know sometimes in my videos I might get a little bit too overreactive when it comes to trying to not generalize everyone in the U.S. But sometimes it comes out, but I do realize it's not everybody, and not everybody supports the antics that's going on with your U.S. government right now, right? So
No, of course, and that's sort of a tough thing. We had kind of talked about uh, this issue a little bit, and I don't know how deep we want to go because me and you are both sort of learning what's going on. But yesterday, with the new war against Iran,
oh yeah,
I was doing a live stream yesterday, and one of my viewers wanted me to sort of like distinguish, like that like. Not all Americans wanted this to happen. We don't all support this. I'm like, no, that's true. But the unfortunate part is when a country starts acting up, everybody takes the blame for that.
hmm
It's Israel is over there doing some crazy shit, in Gaza. Well, Israel takes the blame. Russia takes the blame when they are fucking with goddamn words, Ukraine.
yep,
So unfortunately, when it comes to all of this shit, where we stand politically as individuals is going to be overlooked by the rest of the world. And they're going
yep,
to say, well, comes America with their bullshit again. It's like, yeah, kind of. We don't all think that way. We're not all participating and cheering for this, but until something changes, we're all sinking with this ship, So,
yeah. And
yeah.
that's the thing I try to differentiate. I mean, it's easy for me and a lot of Canadians just to say, you know what, fuck it. The US, you guys are on your own, right? And
Mm,
it's unfair to people like you. It's unfair to my friends in the United States and even our US followers that we have on our channels, right? Because you guys are technically what I call the resistance, right?
mm,
But at the same time as well, on the flip side of the other coin is that this is your government, right? So it's the government that um, won the election. And, since we're on this topic, I mean, I'll bring it up is that I think some of my viewers have noticed lately that I am trying to push back when it comes to um, some of the Democrats that are on the left that are throwing a bit of hate on my videos, right? Because
mhm,
what I've been getting lately is a lot of people that are saying that, um, one, either I have to change my tone, and I should be, you know, I, they're basically saying that I don't understand what they're going through, and that I should be changing the tone of my channel to support the U.S. businesses and things like that. And I'm just like, no, why the hell should I do that? I'm a Canadian, first of all, and
mhm,
second of all, your U.S. administration is threatening my country, right?
mhm,
And I did mention this to you offline. I mean, some of the emails that I get that start off as hate, I go back and forth with them, and I explain to them, look, you guys are not the ones that I'm targeting, or not targeting, but you guys are not the ones that are my message is directed at, right? You guys are the resistance, and I applaud you for what you guys are actually doing, right? You're standing up to your own government. But what I'm saying is that you may be doing, you may be trying to resist, you may be protesting, you may be, creating spaces for people to chat, or whatever else. You're doing something. But my point is that there's millions of other U.S. citizens that are just sitting around doing nothing. One of my interviews, I don't know if he's in the live chat right now, but he was actually the first guy that I ever interviewed. And he's actually in the Discord server. Oh, you know him. The weird guy.
Oh yeah, the weirdo. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he likes to say that. Yeah, we'll just, anyways, him. We've always had conversation, and he's got his own YouTube channel now. And I guess he was also getting the same sort of thing as well, saying that the U.S. citizens were, or the left was giving him a hard time. And him and I feel the same way, is that, look, you guys are not, we're not angry at you. We're angry at the U.S. citizens who are sitting on their sofa doing nothing, or the ones that are just putting their head in the sand and saying, you know what, if it doesn't bother me, I'm not going to care, right? Those are the ones that I feel that, they no, that's not. It's not you.
Weirdo? Oh,
no, that's not. No, that's gay. That's gay. That's gay. But what I'm saying is that, we're not angry at you. We're angry at your fellow citizens that, it could be your next door neighbor, or your relative, or anybody else who just doesn't care about anything, right? And I hate to throw my friend under the bus, but I'm going to use him as an example. Like my friend in Nevada, he is so apathetic about everything that's going on. And whenever we have WhatsApp conversations, I mean, I met this guy a long time ago, and he's a good friend, but he's just clueless when it comes to things, right? But when it comes to politics, when it comes to his own country, he has no idea what's going on. And I'm the one that's explaining to him, this is what your government is doing. This is what your government said about Canada. This is what your government is doing about Greenland. And he's just in there, oh, okay, I didn't know about that. Or, it's not really in my interest, is what he said, right? And I'm like, this is your country doing all of this, right? So I'm just using this as an example, because this is just one guy. And there's millions. I mean, I don't know how many millions more. If I have to compare, I mean, the only benchmark that I have is the last No Kings protest. I think it was 7 or 8 million across the country that participated. And, you got, your population is 340 million, right? So if I take away the 77 million that, voted for the orange guy, and then the 75 million that voted for Democrats, and then the 90 million that didn't vote at all, this 7 million that participated is a very, very, very small amount. So, it's just something that it frustrates me, because I see that there is resistance like yourself, and everyone who's trying to put up a stand and fight against your government. But there's just so many more that really, really don't care about what's going on. So for me, it's just something where I'm kind of trying to push back, and I'm trying to educate them and say, look, I'm not angry at you, and my videos are not targeted at you. It's targeted at maybe your next door neighbor who only cares about sports or his RV or something else, and doesn't really keep an eye on stuff, right? So, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of my rant. I forgot where I was going with this.
Well, no, I do have somewhat of a response to that. There are, unfortunately, also unreasonable people on the left. We're not immune to that at all, period. And that is an unfortunate thing that's sort of happening right now. Is how do I want to explain this? No reasonable person needs to be told that I'm not talking about you. That's just crazy that you think, you've got, what are you up to? Like 116,000 subscribers right now? Something like that?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Good job, man. Good fucking job. I'm so proud of you. You came in here and you just started kicking ass. The expectation of this person for you to carve out a piece of your video to go, I'm not talking about you, though. Any reasonable person doesn't need to be told, I'm not talking about you. We all know where we stand. We all know what we're trying to do, right? And I've gotten to this point on YouTube. Like, I'm very quick to tell MAGA to fuck off. I don't care. I don't care about their feelings. But I've also gotten to the point where I'm also very quick to tell our own side to fuck off. Like, if you're going to come attack me and ask me what I'm doing, how I'm helping the cause, and all these things without even bothering to look into what I've done, like, I could rattle off a whole fucking resume since I've started this channel. You know, don't come at me with the bullshit. You know, so you can go fuck yourself also. And anybody that needs to go to you, like, maybe I'm being a dick right now, and sometimes I am, but anybody that needs to go to you for reassurance that you weren't singling them out, you weren't talking about them, is massively, massively overreacting to what's going on. And I know I'm not like a professional YouTuber by any means, but that's just kind of where I'm at. It's like, fuck off. I don't have to respond to your email explaining. You do you, however you want to do this, if you think educating people is more important. But I don't have to respond to your email about why you want me to tell you that you're fantastic. Like, I don't know what you want from me. Point is, all right, everybody knows it's not every American. We don't need our asses kissed by content creators to point out that it's not every American. That's crazy to me. I don't know if I explained that the right way, but it's just, no, like, my God, these people just have to be the center of attention all the time. Please tell me I'm doing something good, though. Fuck, man.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. I mean, it's you know, I think these people just that are emailing me just want the attention, right? And they especially this one that gave me a whole proposal on what companies I should be supporting in the United States, right? I think small businesses and stuff. And I'm like, no, fuck off. I'm not going to support like a company in the US that, I'm not going to promote a business on the other side of the border of a country that's trying to take me over, right? So it's just a bit of entitlement, I guess, you know, trying to, I don't know how to explain it, but I actually laughed when I read the email. So.
No, I think the right response, I'm always open to being wrong about shit, but the right response, in my opinion, is just a blanket boycott. Look, we're not now that our government, like it or not, this is the United States government, has threatened many countries over and over, either through taking over the country or through economic harm. And now the burden is on the citizens of the other countries to go like through every business and say, is this one good? Is this one bad? We started the shit. Boycott all of it. You know, make it fucking hurt. And maybe we'll get our shit together. You know?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, the fact that you brought this up, I mean, I'm talking about a lot of these entitled left Democrats right now, right? But there's also the other half as well, which are continuously telling me, you guys are doing what you need to do. You know, boycott the crap out of us and do not spend any money and get your message out even more when it comes to that, right? So I applaud these people that are reaching out and, you know, emailing me, because sometimes I guess on my video I sound a little bit frustrated on this topic, right? And you know, some of my the comments that I get in my YouTube videos, you know, are the US citizens that are saying, you know, fuck these guys, just, you know, go ahead, continue to boycott and let us drown in the problem that we caused, right? So people get it, I understand that, and I totally respect the US citizens that are saying this, because they understand, right? It's now about getting the people, in my opinion, it's about getting more of the U.S. citizens who are apathetic about things to kind of, you know, get off their ass and start to care about it, right? So
yeah, and you know what? It is my opinion that any American that is supporting the resistance, so to speak, wouldn't need to say, well, why are you singling this out? Why are you doing this? They would be in full support of making sure that the United States citizens learn a fucking lesson from this last election. And I'm at the point that, like, whatever it takes, I on my channel have openly called for people to put me out of work. Make sure that I have nothing to do with my
I've
truck.
heard that,
you know, fucking, I support it. I don't want to. That sounds scary to me, but like, look, stop buying shit. The people of the United States need to step up in that way, I think, because I was getting frustrated, Guard the Leaf, with people saying, basically people were calling for me to storm the Capitol and go, you know, grab Donald Trump. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? But we could be much more effective through massive boycotts of our own. And there is a movement for that. It's just not as widespread as it should be. And we could be much more effective with general strikes, shit like that. So look, if I have to park my truck because there's no work because the American people said enough's enough, well, I'll go broke with you. I support that. You know,
and the thing is too, like if like I said, the only benchmark I have right now is the No Kings protests, right? So if you have 7 million people that participated, that's a drop in the bucket. But if you change that to 150 million, that's an impact right there, right? So, you know, and if you do a general strike with 7 million, you know, it might not even, you know, move the needle a little bit. But if you have a general strike with 150 million people, that is going to cause problems. And that's, I think, when, you know, to be honest, without any sort of violence and protests and things like that, you know, this is, in my opinion, I know I'm not the smartest guy, but this is one way that I see that.
You're the smartest guy in this live stream.
No. I didn't even know how to start the live stream, man. You had to teach me.
Somebody was commenting on Kenny, so I'm trying to get him out here so everyone can see.
Nice. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that, you know, having a general strike with 7 million people is not going to move the needle. But if you have a general strike with 150 million people, that's going to start to do some damage, right?
right. And I'm not going to general strike by myself. God damn it! Like if people want to organize this,
but if
people organize and do this, I'm in. I'm 100% in.
Yeah, one trucker boycotting on the freeway, that's probably going to get you arrested. But if you have, like, you know, a million truckers protesting, that'll make a difference, right? So
yeah, and a lot of people reach out to me and say, "Dude, why can't you get the truckers in on some sort of similar to like the Freedom Convoy thing?" I don't know much about that. You know, when a bunch of truckers were whining they had to wear a mask in public. We're shutting this bitch down. we're shutting this bitch down. But a lot of people ask me, can you organize the truckers? No, like I can't, because I mean, the vast majority of truckers are MAGA. I would be lucky to organize 50 truckers across the entire country. There's probably more than 50 truckers that think like I do, but my God, they're trying to make a living out there. They're paycheck to paycheck. How do I convince 1,000 truckers, if there's even that many, to shut down? They got to make a living too. It doesn't matter.
Apparently, Kenny's down.
Oh fuck! Those bastards.
Yeah, but I totally get it. I mean, you know, it's in your industry. If it's primarily Republicans, they're not going to join you, right? So I mean, it's kind of useless to do that. But other industries which may have, you know, more, you know, Democrats or, you know, people that are not MAGA, you know, those industries need to kind of step up, I guess, right? So
sorry, we're all laughing about, we're all giggling about Kenny, right?
Yeah, no, Kenny. You know, I haven't watched South Park in a very long time. Maybe I should.
You know, they came out swinging this season with a bunch of shots at Donald Trump and JD Vance, and I don't know what happened with that, if they're still going or not. But Guard the Leaf, we have now got a ton of super chats coming in that we must address, my friend. Right. We got Annabelle, member for 8 months. The men's team mother is the head coach for the women.
Oh yeah, Quinn and Jack Hughes. I believe she was she the head coach for the women's, or was she actually on the Team USA? I think she was on Team USA before. But yeah, I mean, that is really weird to me, because I mean, if your mom is associated with Team USA and, you know, you're disrespecting the Team USA women's team, you know, wouldn't you think because your mom is on the team that it might not be something that you should agree with? And I mean, if my mom was on Team Canada and I disrespected, I know for a fact if I go home, it's going to be weird, right? But it's just one of those things, you know. If I have to, I mean, logically think about it, it just seems that they were starstruck that the president of the United States was talking to them, right? And you know, but what was weird though is that I think the Quinn and Jack Hughes' mom was actually defending what Team Canada did, which is weird if you ask me, because it is a completely disrespectful thing to do to the women's team, right? So it's just weird.
Yeah, the reason I was kind of laughing while you were talking is because MAGA will throw their own mothers and daughters under the bus to
Yeah.
support Donald Trump. And it reminded me of sort of a funny interaction while I was here at home. One of my daughters was cooking eggs, right? And I don't know what she was doing. She fucked up and she like launched her eggs out of the pan into the burner of the stove, and she's over there trying to scrape them out and like clean up, and she's laughing about it. And I said, there are men out there that voted against the rights of their own daughters over the
Mhm.
price of eggs. All right. And had I known you were going to be so disrespectful to these eggs and their cost, I might have voted different. Now, understand, my daughters have a very good sense of humor, so she thought
Yeah.
that was hilarious. But I'm like, I cannot believe the disrespect in this house. I guess we're just living high on the hog over here. And the
Yeah.
reason that's funny and not funny and tragic all at the same time is motherfuckers will throw their own mothers and wives and girlfriends and mistresses and daughters all under the fucking bus in support of Donald Trump. And it's
Yeah.
just crazy. So this doesn't surprise me even a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah. I mean, you would have thought that, if your mom was associated with Team Canada USA women's team, and the orange guy was making an insult to them, you would think that, hey, I'm not cool with this, right? But obviously they didn't. That wasn't their reaction. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Moving along.
Yeah.
Moving along, we are getting the comment section fired up. We're having a good time here. Uh,
Right.
um, I don't know what this was related to. You should hate it. It will fuel your resolve.
I think it had to do with my rant earlier, because I said I don't hate. I mean, this is me. I mean, I don't want to hate, because I think hate is a bad word. Not bad, but it's a strong word that, it's, for me, it's kind of pushing the boundary. I mean, I don't hate the US. I don't hate the citizens of the US. I'm just disappointed, right? And
Yeah.
for me, being disappointed is enough to fuel my boycott, right? So
Hmm.
I don't like using the word hate. I really don't. So
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah.
Annabelle, again, guard the leaf. I understand. Do what you must to protect yourself. We have prepared for this. We may not all survive, but we will be okay. Yeah, that's true. We may not
Yeah.
all survive. That's 100% true. But
Well,
yeah, that was
I
for
hope
you.
everyone survives. I mean, I don't want anybody to get harmed in the US, but you guys got a long ways to go, if you ask me.
Yeah. Yeah, we sure do. I don't have an
Yeah.
argument to that. I have nothing clever to say. We got YUL Spotter in the house, says, hey, guard the leaf and Josh. Not sure if you heard, but Trump and MAGA want to rename the San Andreas fault to it's Biden's fault.
You know what's weird is that in this day of age, if this was like, say, 10 years ago, we would have already thought it was a joke. But in 2026, the orange guy saying it's Biden's fault, we don't actually know if that's true or not. I mean, it's just so radical these days that, like you know what the website The Onion is, right? It's like satire.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of the articles on The Onion can seem like it's actually real these days, right? So
yeah, yeah, I got no argument to that. Fucking at all. I miss satire. I miss when you would read that shit. When people would fall for it. There's a subreddit called Ate the Onion where people believe the bullshit they read on the Onion, and they're worked up into a rage over it. And I miss those days. I really do. I miss the days when conspiracy theories were fun and not government policy. Those were good times,
Yep.
Whereas
now you have to sit back a bit and see, is this true or is this actually satire, right? So
and it's tough because we get caught up in it. I did last time I was home, actually a month ago, where I read a tweet that I thought was Donald Trump because it 100% thought it sounded like it could have been, and I made a whole video about it. Then I had to come back and be like, so anyways, guys, I fucked that up.
Yeah, it's just strange times we're living in right now where the Onion could actually be true. So
yeah, absolutely. It is crazy. We got Kodachrome again. Kodachrome with $5. Unfortunately, it's a bit difficult to utilize more forceful resistance, if you know what I mean. Reagan kind of defanged California's second to an extent. I personally am not sure what you mean by California's second. Yes, yeah, I mean that's 100% true. When people say you need to go to the White House and arrest Donald Trump yourself, like no, like I mean
that's going to get you killed.
They just killed one of their own. I mean, granted, he was armed at Mar-a-Lago. I didn't cover the story, and I fucking should have, but it was a Trump supporter that, from my understanding, I'll read the comments. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But from my understanding, was a Trump supporter that was pissed off about all this stuff with the Epstein files that had a weapon and walked towards Mar-a-Lago, and he's gone. He's done for. So
I didn't know he was a MAGA supporter.
Yeah, his whole family, him, Trump supporters. I didn't look into him too much, but that's what I understood of it. Was another Trump supporting family that went off the rails yet again. Yet again. So
had to get him.
Oh, Annabelle, sister wife number 647, reporting for duty. I love it. Thank you. Thank you, Annabelle, for the $2. Also appreciate you. Thank you, Annabelle. And we've got John over on your side with the $20. I'll let you read that one.
All right. The only way to convince MAGA to fight and vote against Trump is to hit them in the wallet and convince them that Trump is to blame. Good luck with the last part. Yeah, no, I totally agree. And thank you, John, for the $20 Canadian. I appreciate it. I don't know what, I mean, actually, that's a good question for you, Josh. I mean, is the sentiment of MAGA starting to drift and die? And I mean, is MAGA really, are they starting to wake up?
I have to say I disagree with this comment. And I don't necessarily like disagreeing with comments when they're live, but hitting MAGA in their wallet in support of Donald Trump, they love that shit. They fucking love going broke for Donald Trump, and they haven't convinced me otherwise yet. You know, when he scammed them with a meme coin, they were like, hell yeah, bro. I love that shit. So the hardcore MAGA, he can steal their money. That doesn't matter. I mean, the guys that went out and paid for Trump phones, they still ain't got no goddamn Trump phone, but they're proud of it, you know? To answer your question, I do feel like a lot of support for Donald Trump, that people that used to support Donald Trump are waking up to what's going on. I hear it all the time in my comments. People say, and I mean, they're just internet comments. I don't know if I trust them or not, but you know, I did support Trump. I did vote for Donald Trump, and I'm sorry, I am regretting that decision. There are people I think that are waking up to that. But that hardcore, the cult members are never going to go fucking anywhere, even after Donald Trump robs them blind. I mean, these guys will go from, you know, living in the suburbs in a 2-story house to living under a fucking bridge and saying, I'm living the best life ever because of Donald Trump. And
interesting.
Yeah.
So in terms of John's comment, I mean, for me, I agree with, I would have thought, you know, for John's comment saying that we got to hit him in the wallet, where, you know, in the wallet, I would have thought that as well. For if the wallet's not going to hurt them, I mean, for these hardcore MAGAs, is it just nothing's going to convince them or nothing's going to wake them up?
No, because they think that their day is coming. You know, they think that any day they're going to wake up and the everything they ever thought was going to happen is happening that day. You know, these people are, God, they're fucking mentally ill. I don't have a good way to say that. You know, we need better mental health in this country. And they are fully convinced that they will wake up to the day that this amazing world they always wanted to live in has been created by Donald Trump. And it doesn't matter how fucking broke they go. They will still continue to believe that that's going to happen for them.
Oh, that's sad. That's truly sad, to be honest. So
yeah, there's no hope for some of them.
Thanks, John. I appreciate the 20.
Yeah, thank you, John. Certainly. I wish that was something I didn't have to disagree with. I wish that was the fucking answer. If that was the answer, though, then MAGA would be over with already. It would be done.
Yeah.
Because how many people has he bankrupted just this year? You know. Yeah. I mean, God, with the trucking, guard the leaf. Now I'm going to go off on a goddamn tangent, but these people are losing their jobs left and right. I'm watching truck drivers on YouTube that like fucking hate me and come out every day trying to shut down my arguments that have lost their trucks, have already had to get out of the business and go be a company driver under Donald Trump's term. And they're still defending it. Who the fuck wants to lose their truck? You know how hard you got to work to own a truck in this country? And they still support Donald Trump on a daily basis. It's just fucking crazy. So if it was true that bankrupting MAGA would cause them to leave the cult, then the cult would already be over with. It would be done.
It's unfortunate. We'll just have to work around them, I guess.
They're infuriating. They're just infuriating. Chris with the $2 rip Kenny, you bastard. Yeah, he's upright again. You know, Kenny, he just always seems to come back to life. Always shows up in the next episode, that Kenny.
Yeah.
We've got the tawniest. Nah, mate, sorry, we don't hate maggots near enough. I think I agree with that. I mean, I try not to like hate. I mean, I know that's a strong word and all that, but these are people that are basically, I mean, ripping apart the country is the least of our concerns. It feels like sometimes these are, I mean, this just goes so deep through our entire culture that I don't see us ever recovering from it, period, in my lifetime. It's just, I don't have an argument. It's just, you could feel me just like, just sometimes I just don't know.
Well, no, I agree with you. I mean, you and I are on the same age, I think. I'm in my mid-40s and so are you, right? But I think for the rest of my life, you know, hopefully we live long lives, but I just don't feel that in our lifetime this is going to be fixed. So I think the hate and, you know, the rhetoric and all this kind of stuff. Here, let me talk about this, because like what came out of the U.S. hockey game. You know, I did a video on it, and once Team USA won, all of the 51st states jokes and everything and all the rhetoric came back out. And I've said early on in my channel that, you know, the fact that the orange guy said it once, you know, that he's going to take over Canada and we're going to be the 51st state. I believe that insult and that rhetoric will last way longer than, you know, Donald Trump ever does. And it's unfortunate, right? Because we could be in our 80s and 90s, and, you know, that 51st state stuff is still going to come from the right, you know. And it's sad, because I think that has forever changed, you know, the relationship between Canada and the US. So
yeah, no, it has. I mean, between Canada and the US, between everyone and the fucking US. I mean, my God, I do agree with this comment. We have been way too polite to MAGA for the last 10 years. And it does make me happy to see so many people on the left that have fucking had it with them at this point. And I honestly think to the previous comment where they said, you know, bankrupting them is the answer. The MAGA movement is full of just weak-minded people. And I am to the point now where I think straight up bullying them is the fucking answer. You know, all this tough guy bravado and shit. And then the minute like you say something to one of them, they fold like a fucking lawn chair. You know, and I think that's like, make it known that like you're a very loud minority and we're sick of your shit. Maybe the fucking answer to what's going on here. So we have to be hateful back. That's all that's left. That's where they want.
I don't like that, but you know, sometimes you know, when you stand up to a bully, sometimes you got to fight back, right? So.
Yeah. You know, they wanted to drag the country down to this level, and then stand there looking fucking shocked when we respond the way they've been treating us for years. You know, I can't believe you just said that. No pearl clutching, bitch. You wanted this, you got it.
Exactly. Exactly.
So Kodachrome with the $2 Second Amendment, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, we'll see how long we have that. Such an interesting dynamic, because MAGA has been all about their Second Amendment, to the point that, you know, if your kid gets shot at school, at least we still have guns, right? And now Donald Trump can just go, hey, why are Americans walking around with guns? What's that about? And MAGA goes, yeah, what is that about?
Yeah.
Why do all these Americans have guns? Did nobody ever tell us about this, motherfucker?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Ah,
All
it's
right.
frustrating. Let's see what else we got
Yeah.
here. We've got Casper. This coming from your side. I'll let you read that one.
I think this is your side, isn't it?
I don't know. It's got a link. So,
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
I thought the links were yours, and okay. Yeah,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm the tech guy.
I
I should technically know this kind of stuff. But, anyways, Casper Hansen, 1346, with 45. I think that's Danish. Is it called Danish krone? Yeah, Danish krone. Thank you very much, Casper. Obviously, Israel is still the ally of the USA, but do they have any allies? Not as much. I mean, I think as every day goes by and as every threat happens and as every tariff happens, unfortunately, Josh, I think your country is running out of allies at the moment. So,
yeah, no, I mean, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I have to, I mean, obviously we know what's going on in the Middle East right now. Right. And, I think it's a situation where personally, I don't agree with it. I know it is a touchy subject. I mean, the people in Iran have been under a lot of brutal things happening by their country's government and everything else, right? And it might be good for them, but I mean at the same time as well, I also don't like having the orange guy go in and just kind of do whatever the hell he wants, right? Without going to Congress or without getting it approved by your government, right? And I think it's wrong. But one thing I am hoping is that no other countries besides Israel is helping your country with this whole war going on, right? So I would, I really hope there are no countries that say, yeah, we're going to send troops, and hopefully, you guys can be on your own. Unfortunately, it sounds so.
Yeah, and that's really what needs to happen. You're right. Donald Trump didn't go through the proper channels, which shocks absolutely no one.
Yep.
I'm not surprised by that at all. And it is tragic that Donald Trump. A lot of people say, these things are distractions from certain things, and to a point, I agree with that. But I want to be clear: there's real human cost on the other side of all of this. We're for those of us that are Americans, we're Americans. We're super insulated from the shit that's going on. But just yesterday, the United States and Israel were killing children in Iran. It's really tragic, if it is just to distract from the Epstein files, if it is just to give him an excuse to try to take over our elections. It's all a very tragic thing, and it's sad that he's going to send our young men and women off to die to do whatever it is he wants to do. And every country, if I was in charge of shit, I'd be like, we need to stay the fuck out of this. We didn't pick the fight. We were just minding our fucking business, I need to get educated on the Israel thing. I listen to a lot of people smarter than me. Shout out Kyle Kalinske, who really has his shit together on this. I don't know if you've listened to him much.
I watch his videos sometimes. So
yeah, that's a good source. But there is a lot of movement in America on the left of getting us the fuck away from Israel. And I have to trust the people smarter than me when it comes to this topic and say, okay, Kyle knows his shit. Kyle's a trusted source. And others out there, I've had it. They do really good on that topic also. There is movement to get away from it. But as far as like allies left, what is it? NATO, is it like I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth on this one, but I'm watching the comments. Is it like Article 5 or whatever, where America was the only one to ever invoke that?
Yeah, because Article 5 happened during 9/11, because obviously you guys were attacked, so all of the NATO allies joined in to help during the the Afghan war, right? But I think this time around he can't invoke that because he's the one that's starting it. So it wouldn't be everyone in the comments correct me if I'm wrong, but because the orange guy and Israel started this, he wouldn't be able to invoke Article 5. And what I'm saying is that I hope that there are no countries that voluntarily go in and help and support what's going on right now. So,
right. Even if he Article 5 is when you get attacked, not when you strike first. Thank you. I appreciate that. It was awesome. Very good, because I hope that NATO goes, no, we don't have anything to do with this. What are you talking about? You know, I don't like saying this shit about my own country. God damn it. I grew up in the propaganda. Guard the leaf. We're the greatest country on the world, the land of opportunity, fucking all this shit. And it's like, I guess we need to be put in check at this point, because we're out here doing some crazy shit, you know?
And it's, I mean, it saddens me too. I mean, I live on the in a border, right on the border, and the United States was so familiar to me, right? I mean, my wife and I, we would go down to Blaine and Bellingham at least once a month and pick up packages and go shopping, maybe head down to Seattle for the weekend, right? And it's just something that it doesn't feel right for me to go anymore, but it's been so long. I mean, it's been over a year now. I mean, it's easy for me now because I'm on the other side of the world, but it's something that it just doesn't appeal to me anymore, right? And I'm sure I'm not alone on it. I mean, millions of Canadians are doing the same thing as well, right? So, but it is sad that it's gotten to that point with the relationship with the United States. So.
Yeah, exactly. I want to address one of the comments. I can't highlight it because it's on the other screen, but Camilla says, Josh, fuel is going through the roof tomorrow. Worried about you and your livelihood. I want you to understand, don't be worried about me. I am prepared. Camilla. I work for a company that operates with a fuel surcharge also, so I get paid based on the fuel cost. So if it goes through the roof tomorrow, this is really shitty to say, I actually make more money if that happens. So when I told you guys that I was preparing for Donald Trump's bullshit, I was not lying to you. I was preparing for Donald Trump's bullshit. So this is an unfortunate thing where I go, oh, that's kind of good for me, despite all the bullshit going on. And I'm not going to celebrate that. I'm not going to do a victory lap on YouTube. But if fuel goes through the roof for me, then my money actually goes up. So
sounds like you're definitely prepared.
There's a lot of companies out there that when they have contracted freight, now if you're running like spot market freight and shit like that, then the rate is the rate and that's what you get. So you need to negotiate for the fuel cost if you're doing something like that. But because I run for a company that has contracted freight, they have an agreed upon rate with a fuel surcharge placed on top of that, that's based on the national average, the weekly national average for fuel cost.
So you're good then.
Yeah, I don't care about fuel cost. It's one of those things.
Nice.
So I don't want to necessarily be like, look at me, guys, look how smart I am. But when I told you I was preparing for Donald Trump's bullshit, I was not lying. So
yeah,
I'll be fine. Yeah, I'll be fine with that. But I don't want it to happen. I mean, I don't want us to be involved in all this bullshit. That's for sure. We've got the tawniest with 5 Guard the Leaf memberships. How about that?
Thank you, Tawny. Really appreciate that. I'm still learning what these gifted memberships do. I didn't actually. I know that they're random and the members can give them out, but I actually don't know what they do. So
yeah, it just gives whoever they randomly go out to, they just get a 1 month membership to your channel.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if you do like members only content or anything like that. I do, but I haven't in like a long time. So.
Yeah, I do post members only post, but my schedule's been pretty busy to be able to do members only videos, but I do plan to do them in the future. So thank you, Tawny.
Yep. Nice way for people to support the channel anyways. And this one is your side. Also, Casper, once again, there you go.
Thank you, Casper, for the 45 Danish krones. Have you guys seen Denmark's intelligence services classifying USA as a national threat? I haven't, but I haven't, not on this topic, but I have been thinking about doing more videos when it comes to Europe, right? And one of the things too is that I need the sources, but I have seen that what I'm learning about Denmark right now is how big their boycott is, right? And my last video on Denmark, it actually shocked me how the boycott against the United States is really growing in Europe. And I think when this whole shit show started, it was really just kind of Canada, on their own a little bit. And as my channel kind of grew, I started noticing that there were more viewers from Europe. And I think once the orange guy threatened Greenland, I think that's when everybody in Europe really just said, okay, then enough is enough. We're done with the United States. So I'm not surprised that Denmark is classifying the U.S. as a national threat, and I do hope more countries do as well. So let me read into that more, Casper. But thanks for bringing that to my attention.
Yep, I'm in the same boat. I have not seen it. I have not read it, but I am not the least bit surprised by it. So, yeah, I'm the same spot you are. This does not surprise me.
Yeah, I do hope more countries list, the US. I mean, they are a threat, and for Canada, one thing I did in one of my videos before is that I said I was surprised that Canada hasn't changed their travel advisory to the United States, right? I mean, it's still green. And I also know that there's probably political reasons around that. And, we do have the CUSMA or the USMCA, as you call it, agreement, potentially negotiations. I don't think it's going to go through, but, people in the comments have said, yeah, we can't really raise it because there's negotiations coming up. And fair enough. I can see that. But, it should be upgraded in my opinion. And if it were my decision, yeah, I would upgrade it and say, there's a travel advisory, it's not safe to cross the border. And not only that, you got the ice thugs running around and stuff, right? But I do know that there probably is a political reason why it hasn't been upgraded yet. So
yeah, I'm surprised by that myself, 100%. Yeah, we're putting Canadians in ICE detention over here. So but I guess kind of what stood out with what you said is you said, well, maybe because negotiations are coming up, and boy, that is some very good faith from the Canadian government, because negotiations don't mean dick around here. It's time for Donald Trump to take a victory lap, say he did something good, and then fuck it all up next week.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I personally don't think the CUSMA deal is going to go through. If it is, it's going to be heavily unbalanced, which I hope the Canadian government doesn't agree to. But I guess we'll see towards or later on this year. So,
Cryaxis, this coming, I believe, from your side, also says, thing is, part of the goal of the admin is to destroy the relationship, the closest relationship in the world. Canada and US, let's not let them. And that's their opinion on that. What do you think, Guard the Leaf?
The thing is, for the administration to destroy that. Yeah, I mean, I think the relationship's already destroyed, if you ask me. And it's now a year into this shit show, and we got just under 3 years to continue creating, or to continue destroying it, right? So I think it's already done. It's already destroyed. It's now a matter of all these other countries around the world, including Canada, to just really disconnect and really separate from, I hate to say it, but it really separate from your country. So
yeah. I mean, I obviously think we can all still be friends, and that's the people on a people level, so to speak. But as far as relationships between the governments and probably businesses, because Donald Trump's using that economic leverage as much as he can, I think that's destroyed, and I don't know how much interest there is in repairing it in the future, because I'm not. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if it was me, if I was on the receiving end of the bullshit, and we are on the receiving end of the bullshit because Donald Trump's trade wars tend to backfire on the American people. But if I was on the receiving end of the shit, like on a personal level, where someone I considered a friend was, attacking me, I don't know that later I would have much interest in trying to fix it. And maybe I may come to the conclusion that, I'm better off without that friend anyways. I've made all these other new friends, and we've got a great relationship. It's mutually beneficial. Maybe fuck that friendship. Maybe I just don't give a fuck anymore, and it was time to move on anyways.
Yeah.
So
no, I totally agree with that.
I don't know that I'd be interested in trying to fix it at that point. Like I don't want to go too far, because I mean, we still have sort of the future to play out in front of us, but I would be a little disappointed if America elected the right government, and immediately Canada or other countries just came. Everything's good now, because it's not planning ahead. It's not realizing that, hey, we have the potential to go off the rails again. So I would just plan other relationships. You're right. That's a long-winded way of saying you're right. Like, we can still be friends on a personal level, all of us. Mm-hmm. But the real, and this is a real relationship also, but like the real economic things and the things between our governments, it's done.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And I always have this thought in my head, what's going to happen after just under 3 years, and let's say, for example, there is a Democratic president that is elected. A lot of people are saying that, okay, things will go back to normal after that, but in my opinion, it's not going to be normal. And there's just too much damage that that is in my head right now, and too much rhetoric, too much insults, too much disrespect that I'm going to remember. And it's not just from the president, right? It's from the MAGA, it's from the senators and the administration and stuff, and they're still going to be there, right? They're right. The orange guy's going to be gone, but there will be senators that will get reelected, and I'm not going to forget what some of these senators have said, right? So.
Right. Absolutely. And it's almost to a point where here in the United States, we need to restructure our government in a very meaningful way at this point. Mm-hmm. We need to somehow build something in that is easy to enforce, that doesn't allow a fucking president to go off the rails like that. And I believe that we thought we had that. We had checks and balances. We had 3 co-equal branches of government. We had a nonpartisan Supreme Court, and that's all gone. The perfect system, and I mean, I'm saying that sort of sarcastically. I don't know that we ever thought it was perfect, but the perfect system of government that we created, we've demonstrated, can be destroyed by one man and a bunch of people that are afraid to stand up to him. So with anything short of completely rebuilding an actual working government, it should be a red flag to any country out there that we cannot be trusted at this point, because we didn't fix anything. We just elected someone different. That's not a permanent solution.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Yeah.
You elected a monster.
Yeah. There's Stormy with one guard the Leaf membership.
Thank you, Stormy. Thank you for gifting a membership, and congrats to whoever got it.
Let's see. We've got El Tanko on your side also with the $10.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm not seeing the link on my side. So are you sure this is not yours?
I am 100% seeing the link on my side. Like, the next one is the next one up is Kodachrome, and that came in on my side. So I got you. Don't worry, my friend. I got you.
Got it. Thank you, El Tanko, for the $10 Canadian. You can't reason with MAGA. They're not listening. Psychological warfare in the form of vicious trolling is fine with me. Yeah, I mean, we can definitely troll them. It'll probably go over their heads sometimes, but for me, it's weird, because I've learned to brush off the MAGA trolls these days and get thicker skin. But I guess these days it's the left that is kind of getting under my skin, which is weird for me to say. So, but trolling is fine with me as well. So.
It's not weird of you to say. There are some things we need to address, on our side also. But as far as like fucking with MAGA, I 100% support it. One of the I talked about this in yesterday's live stream also. But one of the things you're told as like someone that's considered to be a big YouTuber, I don't know that I am or I'm not. I'm past the point where like I really care. I'm just gonna put out the videos and hope that my people like them. That's how I run my channel now. But one of the sort of rules that people tell you, if you're going to be a big YouTuber, you're not allowed to interact with your negative comments. You're not allowed to argue with people down here. And I do all the time. I'm fucking sick of their shit. I'm sick of the stupid shit that comes out of their mouths, right? And for the longest time in my comment section, I was kind of alone in that. Like 100,000 subscribers, and I'm down there like arguing with MAGA. Don't worry, this ends good. It ends with a good story. And I'm like, fuck, man. So many people just don't want to engage in this way. It is a waste of time. It really can be, you know. But I've noticed over the last couple of weeks the shift on my channel where my viewers are purposely going through the comment section just to fuck with them, and I think it's the greatest thing. And I have to just sit back and laugh at the work they do. And I was laughing about a comment yesterday because it was just so straight to the fucking point that I was like, damn, that, I mean, 3 words to just own that fucking MAGA dork. Because this fucking nerd went off. I don't mean nerd because I love my nerds. I'm sitting in a nerd corner right now, so that was a bad choice of words. This MAGA dork went off on this huge fucking tirade, blame Joe Biden, blame an immigrant, blame a transgender person, all this bullshit. And one person responded. She responded in 3 words: "Shut up, pedophile." And I just died. I was like, yeah. I mean, just give them hell. It's just and in 3 words, you said all that needed to be said in that discussion. That we're past the point of taking the high road. When they go low, we go high. Didn't fucking work. You know, so fuck them, you know, and their constant fucking whining now about, oh, you guys are so mean. I can't believe you just said that. I didn't personally make jokes about Charlie Kirk, but I wasn't mad at the people that did. You know, the bullshit that has come out of your guys' mouth, the shit that you guys have fucking said. I don't care if your feelings are hurt. You know, I don't care. So it warms my heart to see so many people out there that are just as fed up with it as I am. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, in my comments as well, I notice a lot of people are fighting back. So I appreciate them, because I'm not going to be able to get through all my comments, but some people, they'll send me an email and say, hey, I just responded to this guy, and, you know, they absolutely troll them. Right. So I really appreciate people in the comments, you know, kind of showing that they're not going to take it anymore. So.
Yeah. Yep. So no, I support that strategy, and it is surprisingly effective, because they have been the bully of the United States for at least the last 10 years. And I think they've been let off the hook for a long time. And it shocks them now when we respond the way that they've been acting for all these years. That's the normal bully thing. Look, I'm all of 5'6". I went through school as like an undersized dude, right? And my whole life was getting fucked with by people. And it was like one day in like the 9th grade, I realized I'd like, you know what? I'm going to fuck with this dude back. And like, he just folded immediately. And I went, wait, that's how this works. I wish I would have known that years ago. You know, I had a trucker. I'll tell you a little story. I had a trucker kind of confront me a couple days ago or a couple weeks ago, and I was shocked by how quick this dude fucking folded. I was doing exactly what I was supposed to do. I was parked at this place that is very strict. I was waiting to get on their scale. They have a stop sign in front of it, and they are very strict about you stop at this fucking stop sign and you wait until the scale is clear and you do not move. Right. I almost got kicked out of there one day because I pulled up like a foot past their stop sign. They're like, what the fuck are you doing? They're very strict about this stop sign. Very strict. So I was sitting there waiting. And there's a inbound scale and outbound scale, and it's at this recycling plant. And this trash truck was trying to get in around me, behind me, and he couldn't make the turn. For one, the guy just sucked at his job. You're in a straight truck and you can't get through there. Have you considered, I don't know, accounting or maybe something you'd be good at? Because you suck at this. You're not good at this job. Like I could have fit a whole semi truck through there, but whatever. You know, so then he finally gets around me, and as he's rolling past me, he's in his truck all safe with his window up and his doors locked. You can see he's talking 9 miles of shit in his truck. He's flipping me off, and he pulls up and he parks on the outbound scale and gets his chubby ass out and walks around his truck just as the truck in front of me moves. And I start pulling up. He's walking out there. I got my window down and I go, so is there a fucking problem? And he goes, you need to get out of the way. And I said, what's that sign say? What's the sign say? It says stop. It's a clear word. We should know that word. And I said, what's that fucking sign say? And he goes, I have a habit of being a dick to people sometimes, but he said, fuck you. I said, come fuck me then. Come on. Come fuck me then. And this dude just turned around and walked back to his truck. I said, did I just bully that man? Like, what the hell just happened? The point I'm making with that very long-winded story is when you bully a bully back, they don't know how to respond. They don't know how to fucking respond to it. So it's beautiful. And I might get my ass kicked one day at a truck stop. I don't know. It's possible. It could happen.
Yeah. But sometimes you got to fight back, I think. I mean, not verbally or physically fight back, but, verbally fight back or just put them in their place. So,
yeah. Yeah. Kodachrome over on my side. Sorry about that long story, everyone. I get kind of carried away sometimes. Kodachrome says, I prefer to discard waste permanently, not tolerate its existence. Thank you. You stand up to bullies by putting your boot on their neck. Yep. Same topic. Absolutely. 100%. No, I agree 100%, Kodachrome. I really think that shift is currently happening right now with a lot of people on the left in the United States. Like I shout out Kyle Kalinske earlier. One of his major points is this is what you wanted.
Yeah.
Don't cry to me. Don't cry to me that I was mean to you now. This is what you fucking wanted. Yeah. So, what are we supposed to say? So we've got I'm gonna let you respond to this, read it and respond to it, because I'm getting elderly and I'm about to piss myself, so I'm gonna go use that while you hold it down for us.
All right. Is this from Andrew Davey with the $5? It's so sad to see it come down to this, but there's really no reasoning with Orange Julius and his cult. Sometimes we must troll the trolls. Yeah, I mean, at least for my channel, I mean, there was a video that I did a little while ago where somebody told me that, I need to keep my cool, and it's not very Canadian for me to kind of lash out. And I think there's a time and place for it, right? I mean, if you guys are following my channel, I try to keep a level headed, and I hope I'm not the monotone voice that I started off with, right? But there are some times where I think us Canadians, we have a good reputation, and we're liked around the world, but sometimes we've got to stand up and fight back, right? And when it comes to the trolls, I appreciate everyone in my channel, really kind of putting the trolls in their place. And sometimes it has to, continue on. And, we can't, in my opinion, we can't let, a year has gone by, a year of this bullshit has gone by. And I think now it's time for the rest of the world, not just Canada, but to, kind of step up and just say, look, we're done with you guys. And, if trolling is one of the methods that we're going to do, I'm all for it as well. So, personally, I don't have a lot of time to kind of look in my comments, but when I spot check and do see some of the trolls, I know a lot of my community members are trolling them right back, and giving them facts. I mean, one of the funny things is I saw some comments in mine, and someone on the MAGA side just made some totally random fictitious comments, and someone in my community came back with a whole paragraph and wall of text of facts. And when you throw facts at the MAGA, they don't know what to do, right? And the guy never responded back. So whether it's trolling or whether it's throwing facts or educational statements back at them, we got to do what we can to just shut them up, I guess, right? So
shut them
welcome back.
Thank you. I feel so much better. So much better. But I don't have much more on that. I caught the end of what you were saying. That's where we're at, my friends. That's where everyone's at. Don't let these motherfuckers push you around. I do disagree a little bit because you said educate them and tell them the facts. If these people were interested in education and facts to fucking begin with, we'd never be here. We'd never be here. Alternative.
Well, just use big words. Just what I'm trying to say is just use big words so that they can understand it.
Yeah, you all remember alternative facts, right? That was fun.
Yeah.
I'm still what was it? Damn, I fucked up my own joke. No, I forgot what it was. There was something. It was a Kentucky town way back in Donald Trump's first term, right after he was inaugurated. That lunatic Kellyanne Conway was talking about what Bowling Green, Bowling Green. She's like, yeah, well, and look what just happened in Bowling Green. And I think she was trying to imply there was like a mass shooting there or something, and nothing happened in Bowling Green. Literally nothing at all happened.
Wow.
And I still think about that sometimes, like, God, trying to keep up with all this information, and I'm still freaking out about what happened in Bowling Green. My God,
Yeah.
it's just a nonstop barrage of bullshit.
Yeah. You don't know what's real and what's not these days.
Win 60 says Josh isn't very good telling jokes. I strongly disagree. Win 60. What are you telling? I strongly disagree. That's
Yeah.
I fuck him up a lot though. Fuck him up. Krista with the $5. Thank you, Krista. I appreciate that. And Chris with the gifted membership to the Enemy from Within. I am now known as Eating the Cats because YouTube can't get their shit together. It's one of the funniest things, Guard the Leaf, because if you watch mobile now, it shows your handle instead of your channel name.
Yeah, and I saw that. Why don't you? I mean, you could change your YouTube channel to like Enemy from Within YT, right? Which would stand for YouTube.
You mean my handle?
Yeah, your handle.
Yeah, but I love Eating the Cats. I love it.
Okay.
So much.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah. And I'm watching The Sister Wives now. You heard me. You heard me. You heard what I said.
Fair enough.
But I don't want to change the handle. I just want them to show my fucking channel name again, because it is funny, because now people call me that.
Yeah,
people call me Eating the Cats all the time now. But I love the handle so much. I came about that handle accidentally, sort of, because the Enemy from Within was taken, and then I'm like, it was the same thought process as when Hillary Clinton called Trump supporters a basket of deplorables. For one, she wasn't wrong about that. I wish we weren't clutching our pearls when she said that, and we should have just said, if the shoe fits, motherfucker. I think that was a misstep on our part. Oh God, no, she shouldn't have said that. How insensitive of her. No, fuck you. You deserved every bit of that. But it was along the same it was along the same mindset where I was like, well, Donald Trump is accusing people of eating the dogs, and I tried to use that and it was already taken. And then I punched in Eating the Cats, and it's like, hell yeah, you can have that one. I said, all right, I'll take it. Yeah, changing the handle is not an option because I just love it so much. It's a little frustrating that people think that's my channel name.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, this is $10 on your side from Gina. I'll go ahead and let you read Gina's comment.
All right, thank you very much, Gina Ellison, for the $10 Canadian. When you're bullied and gaslighted by your best friend, the only thing you can do that's healthy for you is to walk away. Definitely. And I don't want to walk away from the people, like yourself, Josh, and then everyone who is, sane, right? But I think we have to walk away from your government, and, not only the government, but the businesses. And, for me, I want to walk away from the tourism side for good. And, the fact that I traveled so much to the US in the past, and I got so used to it, made me realize that, yes, I spent a lot of money on your country, and I spent a lot of money, in hotels and, supporting your economy. But what I realized is that a lot of these businesses and shops and wherever I spent my money might not have been my friend to begin with. And, the true colors are showing now, right? So, they might have been my best friend in the past, but they might, what I'm starting to realize, and this is just me, is that they may not have been good friends, to begin with, right? And really it's just about, helping the economy. So I totally agree with this. I mean, walking away and just exploring what else is out there in the world. And, for me on my channel, I've been telling people, hey, this is a good opportunity to, explore your travel horizons and go somewhere else, right? So, yeah.
No, I absolutely agree with that. And I think we're, like we talked about earlier, because you had said, well, this doesn't apply to you, Josh, and sane people. I'm sane enough to know that it didn't apply to me to fucking begin with. I mean, I'm doing the best I can do.
I feel like I feel like I need to give that disclaimer every time in order to stop getting these hate emails from the left. It's so weird.
Yeah. Some of your viewers, unfortunately, have given you a little bit of PTSD over there, and that happens.
They do, because it sucks. I mean, it really does suck. And when I do a video, sometimes I'm ranting and I'm venting, right? But then at the end of it, I have to say, now I not generalizing. It's not everyone. If you're sane, it's not directed at you. And I just feel like I need, maybe I should put like a disclaimer box at the bottom of my video or something, right? But it's sad that I have to do that. So
yeah, it's unfortunate. I struggle with that sometimes too. More so when I started the channel, because this is my first attempt to get into politics, and I knew next to nothing when I started this channel. I was just like, this is kind of a bad situation. I should talk about it, because the folks from the trailer park, I felt like, were talking about it in the wrong way. They were like cheering for Donald Trump. And I started with basically almost zero knowledge of really what was going on. And I had to learn from my own viewers what the fuck is happening around here. And there were a lot of things that like were super useful from what they were saying, and like, okay, yes, I can learn from this. And then I had to kind of learn as I went that like some of this is bullshit, like if you don't say this the exact right way, then you're launching an attack on an entire community. I'm like, at first I would do my videos like, and I don't mean this, and what I mean is this. And now I'm like, you know what I'd really like here is a reasonable audience that can, like, even if I misspeak, can get to the core of what I'm trying to say without having to explain myself, right? And that's where I'm at with YouTube now. But I understand. I've been there. I've definitely been.
I'm probably a few months behind you, so I maybe in about half a year I won't give a shit anymore. So
yeah, you just kind of reach that point, right? Like like you obviously don't want to piss off your entire audience. That's not a good thing for you to do. But like just build on the people that get you, that understand.
Well, the thing is, I know it's not my entire audience. I think it's probably only like maybe a handful of people, and I know I need to stop catering to these people, right? And because it's not even, it's like maybe 2 or 3 comments out of the 1,000 I get in one video, and I'm focusing on the wrong thing, right? So I'll get over it soon. I think.
Yeah. Like I had a similar situation that I just completely ignored recently when I was making fun of MAGA for crashing Grinder all the time.
I just got a comment. I just reading Warp Dog. Wait, who is it? Warp Dog Record Hound. He's saying ironic GTL's co-host is nowhere to be found while Josh talks about his YouTube handle. The co-host is sleeping, so she's not around right now. But I'm trying not to be too loud, because if I start being loud, then she'll probably wake up, and that's the end of it. So but yeah, she's sleeping right now. So
yeah, good. We got to well, our cats are pretty cool. They're always locked in the room though, because the dog is a terrorist, a fucking terrorist. So we can't have the dog around the cats. I don't know what his fucking deal is. He's a lunatic. So we're still trying to work through that. But I was making fun of MAGA for crashing Grinder. Every time you get too many MAGA dorks in the same area, they crash fucking Grinder. They do. What do you want me to say? And like I had somebody say, why is the gay community catching strays in your videos? Like, what are you doing? I thought you were on the left. And I'm like, any reasonable person, I believe, like, it's open, like, to, like, you could misinterpret what I'm saying, but most reasonable people are going to be like, yeah, that was a shot at MAGA. That had nothing to do with the gay community. It has everything to do with a community that has come together to make life harder for the people who have accepted who they are and who are proud of who they are. And then they participate in the same fucking activities while making life harder for everyone else that is just out and proud of who they are. So those motherfuckers will catch some bullshit from me all the time, but the gay community never will. Absolutely not. So you just have to take those hits, man. I mean, maybe this isn't the best conversation for a live stream, but you just kind of have to take those hits and be like, you know what, that happened, fuck it, move on, and your people will find you. They will. So the people tell me all the time, hey, if you say fuck one more time, I'm unsubscribing. Well, for every person that unsubscribed because I said fuck, 10 more subscribed because I said fuck. Like,
well, what's funny, because I can actually relate to that, right? Because I get people that are saying, I'm very unprofessional because I got a cat meowing in the background, right? And they say, well, I'm going to unsubscribe from you because you're not professional. Well, you're right. For one person that unsubscribed, I actually get like maybe 3 or 4 that subscribe because of the cat, right? So, I've started to accept that. I mean, the cat is, my co-host is part of the channel, and she comes in and leaves whenever the hell she wants, and she might come and be in the room on a bit of a tirade, and then she'll take off, right? But I realize that, those are, I got to stop focusing on those people and, just accept that, hey, if you don't like the cat, you can unsubscribe and take off. Right. So,
Yep, exactly. I that's kind of where I've gotten. We'll move on. But like when
yeah.
people threaten to unsubscribe now, I'm like, see you later. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what you want from me. Like to cater a whole channel to you specifically, that sounds like not a good idea. Like, I mean, how do I grow the channel? I made
Yeah.
this video specifically for this person. All the videos are based on how this person feels. You make a channel then. If you got shit on your mind and you feel a certain way about things, you're free to
Yeah.
make a channel. Why are you asking me to do it for you? Goddamn. How
Yeah.
many jobs do I have to have? I drive the goddamn truck. I already make the fucking videos. Now you want a whole channel for you too? Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Give a guy a break. God damn it.
Yeah.
Next comment.
Well,
Sorry about that.
yeah, no, I think I'm about maybe 3 or 4 months behind you, so I'll get to that stage soon. So
You'll get there. Gina on my side now. Thank you, Gina. U.S. needs to remove lobbying and super PAC. Yeah, we talked about that, Gina, a little bit yesterday because I do get frustrated with the people saying, well, the Democrats and Republicans are the same. I get pissed off about that because the Republicans are literal Nazis at this point. But if we get to the point of, the lobbyists, the PACs, the billionaires buying our politicians, we do have that problem on the left. Did I highlight that? Oh, my fault. Sorry about
you
that.
didn't highlight it. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. I 100% agree with that. And there is a movement by many, many candidates and voters on the left to get our politicians away from that shit. We've got so many good options out there. Graham Plattner, I forget to mention him a lot. He's just absolutely killing it. He's a good option. Kat Abou-Ghazaleh. You guys have seen Trisha Calvarese on my channel a few times. There's so many good options, but we also have to participate in that. Participate in your fucking primaries. They do matter. If you don't want another Chuck Schumer winning a primary, then donate to your candidate that's not accepting the millions and billions of dollars. Get out there and participate in your primaries. It takes all of us participating to move the party that way. So as much as we can blame the politicians, and we 100% can, we can also blame the people that are not participating in our democratic process. Please, for the love of God, pay attention in your primaries, and we can actually do something. There's no reason that Kat Abou-Ghazaleh can't win, or Trisha Calvarese, or Graham Plattner, or many, many other examples, if we all fucking participate. So I agree with you, Gina. I agree with you. And we are all sort of making that effort. It's just, are we going to do it or not? Are we going to do it or not?
I think that's the part where I talk about where, the apathetic people, or the people who don't give a shit, need to really start giving a shit. So.
Yeah. Don't just vote for the Democrat that won the fucking primary and you sat the fucking thing out. That's how you end up with Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, all these people, because they're going to win the primary because they're heavily funded. So if you're not paying attention, then you're not really helping. Like voting for the Democrat that won the primary is the least you could do. I mean, good for you. Thanks for doing that. But you should have been involved long before that. If you really cared, you should have been involved long before that. And look, I'm learning this shit as I go too. I ain't participated in this shit either. I'm not like speaking down on people. I obviously was neglecting my responsibility in my own country for a long time too. So it's never too late is the point to start fucking paying attention. This is the point I'm trying to make. So I agree.
Hopefully more people will pay attention when it comes to the midterms this November. So
yeah, absolutely. They need to. The midterms are so goddamn important. We cannot stress enough how important they are. Thank you. Can you pronounce that for me?
Catho OG.
I'm so bad at pronouncing names on the internet. It's so straightforward. It's right in front of me, but I have a fear, guard the leaf, of mispronouncing names. So I kind of pause.
Oh, I butcher names all the time. Like if you see my channel, I'm butchering names of cities and towns in my own country, because one of the things I'm from the West Coast, right? I'm from Vancouver, and realistically, have not left my province, and I've been to Alberta a couple times, but that's about it. But when I get these backgrounds and photos from the community, I mean, sometimes I actually have to Google and say, where is this? Right? I mean, this looks awesome, right? I just don't know where it is, right? So I'm learning a lot about my country, but I'm also butchering city names all over the place. So
y'all got some tough ones, though. In fairness, y'all got some tough ones.
We do. So,
yeah, like Renee just typed one in my comments. She's like, I want Josh to try to say this. Nope, hard pass. PENETANGUISHENE. Does that? I can't highlight the comment, so
I have no idea.
Yeah, no, hard pass, Renee. I don't know what the hell that even means. Thank you, Cathal, for the channel membership. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Cryaxis over on Guard the Leaf side. Context. The people, not the fascist government. I thought the U.S. population would give in. They have not. So we have a lot of allies in 10 years. I know this is on your side, but if you don't mind, I want to say thank you for that comment. Yes, I'm surprised that we haven't completely collapsed either, and I'll let you take it from there.
No, I mean, it's if I have to, I'm kind of in the middle of this, because I mean, the people, not the fascist government. It's, if I were to kind of see it from a high level, right? I mean, the government that you have right now is completely, off the rails, right? And I kind of have to break it down, right? I mean, if I break it down, you got the government, but then you got also have the people who support the government, but then on the other level, you got the businesses that support the government, and then you may have some I don't want to say tourist attractions, but like regular things that terrorists used to support that also support the fascist government as well, right? So it's multiple levels. I mean, if I have to say people, it's a very small amount of people that I support, and I still consider my allies, right? So I don't want to say the whole country is someone is something that I'm going to boycott, but it's just a small portion that I still have faith in when it comes to the United States, if that makes sense. I really don't know if I'm making sense on this, though.
It's a tough one, because we were talking about a similar situation earlier, right? I think that it is a good thing for the rest of the world to just do a blanket boycott. I think it is. Yeah. I think that it is unnecessary for you or for me or for any content creator to carve out an exception in their videos and say, I'm talking about this and I don't mean you. We've been having that conversation. But it is also, at the same time, with all of that being true, it is true that the Canadian people and people all over the world still have many, many allies in the United States, either as just normal everyday people and even in our government. Mm-hmm. It's just right now we're not very fucking effective. So I appreciate it being mentioned, but I also appreciate the stand that the rest of the world is taking when it comes to the United States shenanigans. So I appreciate that, but I also say you don't have to go out of your way in your videos. It's your video. Do what you want. To say, hey, I don't mean you specifically. So you're never going to find the right balance on that. You're just not going to.
Yeah, no, I'm starting to realize that now. So.
And we've got Krista. Thank you, Krista, for the $10. Said, hello, gentlemen. Canada here. NB. What's NB? Help me.
New Brunswick.
Thank you. Appreciate you. I've been struggling with states lately. Guard the Leaf. I'm a fucking truck driver. And I've been like, God damn it. But I run a very certain specific area now. I don't run the entire country. So I kind of just forgot a bunch of shit. But anyways, the Canada-US relationship has shifted from friendship back to acquaintance, and frankly has the potential of falling further from bond under this regime. I mean, you won't get a disagreement from me. The midterms aren't enough. It's not enough to completely restructure our government. Another presidential election isn't enough. And I think it's done. It's weird being in your 40s and going, we won't see the resolution of this at all. It's just not going to happen. And I hope a lot more Americans are paying attention, because for me, I didn't know much about Canada. This whole friendship, this whole relationship started because I was like, that it seems bad when a president says, I'm going to take over a country. That seems like something that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think for the first couple of weeks, I thought it was a joke. And then when it started escalating a little bit more, I think that's when people really started to wake up. So,
Yeah.
yeah, the tariffs didn't really bother me. I mean, the tariffs were going on in the first term, and I still visited your country, and things were normal for me. But, once he threatens the country and says, we're going to annex you, and it wasn't just him, but it was also, citizens that were saying it, and then other government officials as well. That's when it kind of escalated, and that's the whole basis of my channel, to be honest, right? So it just crossed the line for me. So
Yeah, no, that's a very unfortunate thing is, MAGA will go along with whatever Donald Trump says. I mean, we talked about that earlier when all of a sudden there was confusion about why so many Americans were carrying guns from the
yeah,
same people that insisted that Americans need to carry more guns. So, I mean, that's gotta be fucking devastating. Is like we can, I'm not going to speak for you, but it seems like most people can handle the ramblings of a senile, insane man. That's one thing. But then when you see millions of people line up behind him and go, "Fuck yeah, this is the right way to do it," that's where it becomes a real problem.
yeah, and I think that's where the biggest problem is, that if it was just him saying it and nobody else was repeating it and whatever else, I would, it's just a crazy old man, right? But
Mhm.
it's not. It's a crazy old man plus the 77 million, and the government administration that's also
Yeah,
saying it as well. So
yeah.
the co-host is awake, so if she starts to get a bit of a hand, let me know, and I'll see if I can move her. So
Yeah. I think we're fine. I think that it's just part of the charm of your channel. I know last stream we did, somebody said, if that cat doesn't shut up, I am out of here. But when people do hear the cat, they say welcome back. They say welcome to the
yeah,
co-host.
yeah.
So
I ignored the people that don't like the cat now. So
you can't please them all, and somebody commented, they said, thank you, Josh, for telling Guard the Leaf to ignore the haters. That's what we've been telling him. And I'm not even saying ignore the haters. I'm saying give them hell. I was just saying fuck with them back. I mean, what else?
yeah,
I mean, I purposely do shit like that. I tell you guys, I'm the world's worst YouTuber. But when somebody comes in and tells me you're not allowed to say that, you can't speak like that, you can't
yeah,
think like that, I double down in the next video. I'm like, so if
yeah.
that pissed you off, and boy, do I have
Well,
something for
I'm
you.
still learning. I mean, I'm still
Yeah,
learning. I have a whole 10 months of YouTube experience, so
yeah.
I think
It,
we'll see how it goes after 1 year. So
it's harder than people realize, when
yeah,
you've got it coming from every direction, and it does take a lot to navigate it, and you're never going to navigate it the right way because 100,000 people are watching you, all with a
yeah,
different opinion. So,
yeah,
it's just how it goes.
exactly. So,
And the cussing Kentuckian with $10 says, "Hey, I work in Bowling Green. I am sorry for what happened in Bowling Green. I still, every year on the anniversary of Bowling Green, I pour a beer out, I light a candle. I Nothing
yeah,
happened in Bowling Green, by the way. I
yeah.
mean, things have probably happened in Bowling Green, but it wasn't the nonsense that Kellyanne
Hey, here's a
Conway.
topic I want to talk about. I just saw this
Yeah, yeah.
comment from Timeless K2G. He just mentioned, didn't Congress stop the Canadian tariffs? He did, right?
Um,
Or I mean,
it's such a shit show. It's such a shit show. There was something, I believe, in the Senate where they had voted to. The comment section might have to bail me out on this
yeah.
one. I
I
believe
think
the Senate voted against them, or was it Congress? I feel like it was the Senate, and then Mike Johnson shut down Congress, sent him on another vacation.
because the
Um,
last I heard was the Supreme Court
mm,
uh, basically said that it was illegal. But after that point, there, I haven't heard much about it. And
well,
the only thing I saw is that a lot of companies are now suing the U.S. government trying to get their money back.
That's interesting. I haven't heard that yet. So here's what happened. Here's why I'm fucking laughing. The Supreme Court, yeah, fuck the Congress right now. I mean, they ain't doing shit. They are not effective at all. But the Supreme Court comes out and says, yeah, so all these are illegal. You're not allowed to do that. And I don't know if you watched Trump's speech after that, but it was the strangest fucking thing. The first half of it was him acknowledging that he just got his ass handed to him. He's not allowed to do this. And somewhere in the middle of his speech, a switch flipped in his head to him believing that the Supreme Court gave him the freedom to do whatever the fuck he wanted when it came to tariffs. So the Congress may have shut down tariffs. I'm not well versed on that. The Supreme Court 100% shut down tariffs, and Donald Trump's response was more tariffs. Donald Trump said, "What the fuck are you gonna do about it?" And you know what the answer was? Nothing, sir. We're gonna do nothing about it.
Yeah.
And like, I know it's a serious topic, but like sometimes all you can do is laugh. Like,
I mean, he said he put another global 15% on or something like that, right?
It was 10. He threatened 15, but then he signed the executive order he signed was for 10, I think, even after he threatened 15. It's a fucking circus. I mean, my God. I mean, it's just so goddamn absurd. We're past that point where, okay, one of our co-equal branches of government did something. Who gives a fuck? The Supreme Court did something. Who gives a fuck? He's just gonna do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to say about it anymore. That's what I said on the video where I discussed Donald Trump being mad about the tariffs and then insisting that he could do whatever he wants with tariffs, all in the same speech, is what the fuck are they going to do about it? Nothing. The answer is nothing. They're not going to do anything. Our only hope is that we can pull through these midterms. I am not going to be the content creator that tells people it's rigged, they're going to steal it, because what I'm going to do is encourage everybody to get out there and vote. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to fucking trash morale. I'm not going to fucking run us into the ground. I'm not going to. It don't matter to me what they're going to try to do. They're going to line up ice at the fucking ballot box. Fuck it. Get out there anyways. Give them hell. Go down swinging, you know, fucking. So yeah. A lot of people are doing a lot of things that amount to absolutely fucking nothing is the answer to that.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. I mean, rules don't mean anything these days, I guess.
They don't. They're out the fucking window. It's over. It's over. And that's what the left needs to embrace right now is the rules don't mean anything right now. So what are we going to do about it? You know? We've got Chris over on your side with the $5. She says, Chris, sorry. I know I misspoke there. My apologies. Chris says, got to support my fellow Canadian too.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris. And No Money G says, if you guys stop swearing, I will be unsubbing from both you. Seriously, I don't trust people who don't swear. I hear you. What are you trying to hide from me? What's going on with you?
I mean, it's not in my nature to swear, but sometimes when I'm doing a video and I get really like if I talk about Pete Hoekstra, I can guarantee there's going to be an F-bomb there. Or if I talk to or if I'm talking about some sort of tourist executive or somebody that is just totally gaslighting, then the F-bombs will come out. So, but I bring them out on special occasions.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't even struggle with this anymore. At first, I'm like, God, do I have to clean up my language? And now, we just let it fly. That's how I felt at the time. So, that's just what we do here. Some people like it, some people don't. And the people that like it are the people that I like. We're all friends. That is it for the super. Nope, they weren't gonna let that happen. Nancy says, fuck no, you are not done. You are not done with the super chats. Nancy wasn't gonna let that happen. And Nancy with the $10 says, it really scares me that Trump has the nuclear codes. Yeah, it should scare you.
Yeah, should scare the whole world.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna attempt to make you feel better, Nancy. I appreciate the $10, but no, it's a super scary thing. I don't know. We've been on here for almost 2 hours. For all we know, all hell could have broke loose with Iran by now.
Yeah, and that's the scary thing is that like every time I go to sleep, I mean, I sleep and I wake up and I look at my phone and I'm like, I pray to God nothing bad has happened, right? And
Mhm.
when you're living in times like this where things change by the hour, it's scary. And you're right, Nancy. Him having the nuclear codes, it you just never know how deranged this guy is to even even if he doesn't use them, maybe it's more of the threat of using it. That is like the next level escalation up that everybody should be worried about, right? So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
that and
it's scary.
the people in his cabinet. You would hope that these cabinet members have to go through the confirmation process. How
Hmm.
in the fuck in this country do guys like Pete Hegseth fucking get that confirmation? That doesn't make a bit of fucking sense to me. So
Yeah,
now we've got unhinged lunatic Donald Trump as the president, and like ultimate fucking douchebag Pete Hegseth that isn't going to stop him and say, no, Donald, we should chill. If you
yeah,
tell Pete Hegseth he can launch nukes, he's gonna get off on that shit, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I mean, my God.
But I
It's
think that's like this, Trump 2.0. He made sure that he got people that would say yes to him, right? So I think
right.
in the first term, there were a lot of people that, or people within his cabinet or administration that would say no to him. But it
Mhm.
was very strategic this time who he picked. So I think that's why it's been the wild, wild west, right? So
Yeah, and I'll lean on the comment section for this too, because I should know this off the top of my head. I don't. But the confirmation process in the Senate, does that just require a majority? Ask in the comment section. Is it just 51 majority and they're confirmed, or is it more than that? Um, because the reason I ask is, how the fuck are we confirming these people? I mean, we've got the Democrats that also confirmed these
mhm.
people, and I would have to pull up names to even begin to name names. But what are these Democrats doing confirming Donald Trump's cabinet picks? And these are the people we got. So I'm seeing a simple majority, which I mean maybe means that the Democrats weren't able to block it anyways. But it's at least symbolic if you say I'm not going to confirm Pete Hegseth and RFK and fucking I would say Marco Rubio, but he almost feels like the least of our concerns, you know.
Yeah.
But it is just crazy that I would have to look this up, but I'm 100% confident in saying there were some Democrats that went along with these nominations. Pam Bondi, are you shitting me? Like,
Mhm. Yeah.
and yeah, it is scary that Donald Trump has people that will do what he says, but it's even more scary that they made it through the confirmation process. Where were we? What were we doing? you know.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, the fact that they confirmed him, I mean, the Democrats have to take responsibility for this as well. So
yeah, and I would have to pull up names to even name names, but I do feel confident in saying there were some Democrats that went along with some of the nominations. You guys know me; I'm always open to be corrected. So
yeah.
if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll take that. But just shocking, just shocking. Electing Donald Trump is one thing. That's horrible all by itself. But the Senate confirming these motherfuckers, crazy. Just
Mhm.
absolutely insane. You've got Casper on your side.
Oh,
So there
Casper,
you
thank
go.
you very
I'll let
much.
you
You've been
take the
very
lead.
active today. Thank you, Casper, for the 89 Danish krone. Doesn't the orangutan in the office prove that honesty in the USA is three co-equal branches doesn't work? All it took was for a president simply saying there's no other branches. Yep. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, the law and the rules don't apply anymore. And I think Josh, you said earlier that it doesn't matter what the Senate does, or it doesn't matter what the House or the Supreme Court does. He's just not going to listen. So we're at
Right.
that stage now where nothing in your government is going to work to be able to stop him.
No.
So I think it doesn't matter how many branches agree or if they disagree or want to stop anything. It doesn't matter. So, and I think
Yeah.
especially with what's going on in Iran right now. He didn't go to Congress, and it just kind of did whatever he wants. So if you ask me, this is a bad stage that we're crossing right now. So
Yeah, I saw somebody in the comments typed in Fetterman. Yeah, Fetterman is proof that you need to have a stroke and get brain damage to become MAGA. Like just 100% proof, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be nice to that piece of shit either. What the fuck are you doing? He was all gung ho yesterday about the fucking war with Iran. He's like, hell yeah, fuck it, let's do it. You're out of your fuck. Oh god. And we had so much faith in that guy. We were like, this dude is fucking awesome. Then he goes and gets brain damaged and turns MAGA. Fuck, man. Yeah. Crazy. Anyways, yeah, back to that point. Sorry, I got distracted with the Fetterman thing. Yeah, I mean, there are no other branches at this point. I don't know that the country's gonna pull through this. I really fucking don't. But these guys will go down in history as the biggest fucking cowards this country's ever seen. And this country's got a bad history. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys we're fucking saints. You know, we've got a bad history. But there have been times where Americans have stood against their oppressors, becoming an independent country years and years ago, the civil rights movement, shit like that. And now to watch these fucking big strong white men bow down, fucking pathetic. And I mean, that's just how they're going to go down. This is truly an embarrassing time to be an American. They have all the power in the world to stop this today, and they will not.
Yeah. I don't know what to say, but I mean, I always use this image on my videos when I'm talking about your country, and it's a cartoon image of one side of the fence. We have Canadians, you have Europeans, and different people from different nationalities, and we look over the fence at your side, and your side is just chaos, right? And I feel like that's what the rest of the world is doing right now. We're just kind of looking inside, seeing all of this commotion and chaos happening, right? So it's unfortunate, and I don't want that. And I would love to visit the USA again and see my friends, but I wouldn't be able to do that right now. So, and it's not safe, right? So.
No, it's not. It's 100% not fucking safe. I mean, I've seen you given the tourism aspect of this hell, and you should be. That's really a big deal. It's not safe to come here. I am hoping for massive boycotts for the World Cup. It's my understanding, guard the leaf, that there will also be games played in Canada and Mexico. Okay, cool. And if it's up to me, I would recommend anybody that's interested in some international travel to watch the World Cup to go to those games and stay the fuck out of here.
Well, you know what's funny? I mean, since we're on the World Cup topic, I did a few videos, and I've had the community members actually help me with this. And there's a few articles coming out of Europe that are actually saying that July bookings for flights to your country are actually down compared to last year, right? So you would think with the World Cup, starting in July, that the bookings for flights to the United States would start to go up, but they're actually going down, right? And the fact that they're going down tells me, okay, with this World Cup event, with the biggest event in the world, if the bookings from Europe are actually down, that's it's the first clue for me, telling me that, okay, you know what, I think there's going to be a lot of not empty seats, because I'm sure they'll sell out, right? But there will be a lot less international tourists than what they're actually expecting. So for Europe, I mean, football, I'm going to call it football because that's what it is around the world. But football's big, right? And the citizens in Europe and South America and everywhere else around the world, they follow their team. And not even them, but I'm actually noticing, football is actually very popular here in Malaysia. And they follow teams. Obviously there's no international team here, but they follow it, right? And the fact that Europe right now is showing signs that bookings in July are down compared to last year, even last year was down, but year over year it's already down from last year. That it tells me that, hey, I think World Cup is going to have a lot less international tourists than expected. So
yeah, and those signs matter. those things do matter. I remember, me pointing out empty truck stops, and
Yep.
boy, did I hear it from every trucker out there. That doesn't mean shit. You don't understand this business at all. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Oh yeah, I don't. I mean, a year later, we're 100,000 American-born Native American, not Native American. That's not what I fucking meant. Live streams get fucked up sometimes. Please go easy on me for that one. That's not what I meant to say. Fuck.
Yeah.
God damn it. I hate when I do shit like that live. That's not what I meant. I'll try to recover from that little bit of embarrassment there. American-born white truck drivers, 100,000 of them have lost their jobs. And I always have to point that out because the truckers go, well, was it the immigrants? No, it was not. It was people just like you, multiple trucking companies closing down. I'm still thinking about what I said in my head right now. But the signs matter is the point that I'm making. And damn it.
It's all good, man.
So yeah, live streams, they do that sometimes. But anyways, so you acknowledging that you're seeing the signs of those flight bookings going down, I believe is going to have real results that we're going to see. Well,
I'm just thinking about it logically, right? I mean, you would think that by now it's March 1st now. If anybody is actually interested in going to the World Cup, they would have already booked their hotels, they would have already booked their flights, and be prepared. But not only that, you got all these stupid visa fees now that you got to worry about and get them approved, right? So if people are dedicated to go to the World Cup, they would have already planned their trip. And the fact that it's down, the flights are down, tells me there's not much interest in it in Europe, right? So we'll find out, I guess, when it starts, but. And what we're seeing now is, from your country's tourism experts and stuff is saying that, the World Cup is going to be the biggest event and we're going to get lots of tourists and stuff. And I'm just seeing I'm just seeing signs that, you guys might be wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope the World Cup falls flat on its fucking face as far as tourism goes in the United States. I mean, and I mean, they're the same ones that gave Donald Trump the Peace Prize, right?
Yeah, so exactly. That's why I don't like people as well. So
if they lose some money over it, not my fucking problem. Not my problem. So maybe saying that out loud, my stance has changed a little bit. Maybe I'm not interested in people going to Canada or Mexico for the World Cup either, because they gave him that their made up peace prize. And maybe everybody should just pull the plug on the entire fucking thing and say we can't support you with this. Maybe my new stance. The positions and opinions can change in real time around here. So, we've got Chris over on your side. I'll let you go ahead and take that one.
All right. Thanks, Chris, for the 10 Canadian dollars. Hello to you both. BC here. In my opinion, watching the end of the U.S. democracy, and until the U.S. Constitution is completely rewritten, things won't get fixed. 100% agree. I mean, I don't even think I mean, this is just me with my opinion from the outside, but even if the Constitution is completely rewritten, I don't think that would fix it, because you still need the people to oblige and not agree to it, but they have to I guess oblige to it, right? I mean, the paper and Constitution to me doesn't mean anything right now. It's the fact that people are not listening and they're starting to rebel. So I don't think it's, like I said, I don't think in my lifetime any of this is going to get fixed for your country. So, and it hurts me to say.
I mean, I appreciate the thought on that. I do, but I don't even think that's enough. Like the U.S. Constitution being completely rewritten only matters if someone respects it. Like if we don't,
that's what I was trying to
say. Fair. If we got a person in charge that does not give a fuck anyways, it's just a piece of paper at that point. It doesn't matter. And I sometimes wonder, this may be a bit extreme. I'll guess I'll get a reading on it from the chat and kind of what you say, but we may be heading to a point where we just need to break this country up. Just smaller countries, multiple. The United States experiment just ain't working out at this point.
Well, I thought about that. I mean, I mean, that would be up to the citizens to decide, right? I mean, obviously, I know the West Coast, Washington, Portland, and California, not majority blue, but I mean, it is blue. But, it would, if that were to happen, I mean, yeah, I guess maybe that would fix things for, people in certain states, right? But, I think if it was to get to that stage, my opinion is that I think there would be people on the right fighting to keep it together. And when I say
Yeah.
fighting, I think it would get to a civil war.
100% possible. And the thing is, I don't want to generalize too much because I am all too familiar with our blue dots all over this country.
Yeah.
But there is an unfortunate reality of the red states' behavior towards, say, states like California, right? I mean, Alabama and Mississippi are happy to take California's money so that they have some sort of fucking infrastructure. They love it. Oh, we'll take that money anytime we get a chance. But then also, if we can talk shit about how fucked up California is, we'll also do that, right? So fine. Force the West Coast to be their own country, and then what? Then you're gonna beg them for money. And if these people can't get their shit together and start realizing that we're all working together, well, maybe going broke ain't the worst thing that's ever happened, for them. Yep. I feel bad for the people that get caught in the crossfire of all of that. Like, I live in Colorado, which is considered to be a blue state, but I also live in a red district of Colorado, and I kind of get caught up in the bullshit also. But if these people don't want to get their heads out of their asses and they want to blame California for all their problems while California is paying the bill for them, what's left? What are we doing? And I liked your point that the red states would be the ones fighting to keep it all together. Yeah. When you start pulling those paychecks,
exactly,
they might get a little upset.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. Yeah, we'll I know we're at our 2-hour mark, so we got a couple more all right. This is the part where in the live stream where I go, stop with the super chats. We got to read them so we can call it a day. Guard the Leafs up late right now. So
it's 1:05 in the morning over here. So
the weirdest thing for a YouTuber ever to say, we have to get through the super chats. So that Guard the Leaf can get some sleep, and I got some work to do on my truck today. So if y'all don't all be so kind to stop sending money, we would appreciate that. We would appreciate that. This is the cussing Kentuckian on the Guard the Leaf side. Scratch the kitty behind the ear and buy her some treats on me.
Thank you. I'm actually giving her treats as we speak right now. So what I do is I drop these little cube things. They're chicken cube treats or whatever. And it keeps her quiet for about 5 seconds, and then she goes off again. So
we bought some catnip called Meow Joanna, and knocks them on their ass. They love it. I
got to see if I can find that here. I got to find out what the rules are on that in this country. So
yeah. Find out the catnip rules. We don't want you in trouble for that. Absolutely. Fucking Guard the Leaf. That's a video I got to make. He's in prison. Bought too much catnip over there. So there's a Cindy with the Guard the Leaf membership.
Thank you very much, Cindy. And then, congrats to whoever got it. So
YUL Spotter over here says, Josh, those empty Trump stops weren't because of the big blizzard that was hitting at the time with the sun shining. Yeah, that was so bizarre. I don't know if you caught that little saga.
I did catch that video. Yeah, and it was perfectly sunny, and what blizzard, right? So
what fucking blizzard? And by the way, I was perfectly clear that I was in Texas, and the argument was he's running around Colorado in a blizzard, and he's trying to tell us all that's why the truck stops are empty for another reason. Like, if you know trucking even a little bit, the truck stops fill up during blizzards. We're trying to get the fuck off the road. But MAGA and reality, it's
and common sense.
My God.
Yeah.
We got Nancy with the $10. Las Vegas was one of the largest tourist draws in the US. It is severely dying now. Trump, his tariffs and criticism of other countries is why. Vegas is getting its ass kicked, and I'm sorry for all the people that are losing their jobs. And I had heard, I think from you maybe even, was a lot of the tipped workers were really taking a hit out there.
Yeah.
And sorry for them, but America has to learn a hard fucking lesson, and a lot of us are gonna pay the consequences for that. We really are. But yeah, Vegas getting absolutely hammered, and I know you've been covering that quite a bit.
Yep. And I mean, I think Las Vegas, I mean, because I can relate to it. I mean, I spent a lot of time in Las Vegas, and some of them not sober, some of them, just partying, right? But
yeah,
it's somewhere that I'm very familiar with, but at the same time as well, I cannot see myself going there anymore, and it's sad because I mean, it. There are a lot of actually. I just did released a video that today where it talks to the hospitality workers, right? And I trust their word more than like a CEO or a tourism executive as saying, Las Vegas is fine, or it's just going through a dip or whatever else. I'll trust the the housekeepers or the cooks and the chefs that are saying, look, we're not seeing any customers, and this is not normal, right? So it's sad that they have to go through this, and they're missing their shifts, and there's not enough work for them, right? But like you said, the United States needs to learn a very big lesson on this. So
no, it's unfortunate, but it is definitely what needs to happen. So last one of the day, Mr. Landega with the 5-channel memberships over here on the Enemy from Within. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for your support. And I know you got things to do. I got some things I got to do to get ready for getting back on the road tomorrow. Anyways, appreciate everybody, the Guard the Leaf community, that definitely, and everybody stopping by, everybody hanging out on the Discord. Yeah, we've worked together a lot and built a pretty impressive community, and love you guys all for all the support. And I'll let you go ahead and say what you need to say.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate everyone joining from the GTL as well as the Enemy from Within community. And Josh, we should try to continue see if we can do this at least once a month. And definitely let me know when the next time you're going to be home, and we'll jump on another call again.
Yeah, absolutely. We might get 2 this month because I might come home again later on this month. But that is the plan, to try to do once a month with both communities, and I keep having these conversations because they do mean something. They do matter. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to. I mean, the cool thing is that we're on both sides of the border, right? And it's not often that we get content creators from both sides of the border. Just kind of reflecting about what's going on right now, and just facing the hard, cold truth of what the reality is, right? So, yeah, I'm very happy to be able to talk to you, and let me know the next time that you're going to be home. Give me some heads up so that I make sure that I can free up my time.
Yep, will do. All right. That's it, everyone. Okay. Had a good time with you today. Great talks with everyone. And we'll see you again soon. Love you guys. Bye now.
Thanks very much, everyone. Thank you.